Right, once again, this took a lot longer to arrive than it should have, but anyway, time flies when you're having fun, I suppose. This is the final instalment of Thunderbird 2, and this is the Second World War version with brown and green camouflage, which really is kind of my ultimate childhood imagining of Thunderbird 2. And there it is on its legs, and looking at it I realise there's always something I forget to do before I get the camera rolling, and that is I haven't finished the legs off. I've got the dark stuff slopped all over the place, and I need some highlighting in a fine aluminium. But there we are, forgive that. It's full of cracks because it's clipped together, and I don't want to muck about with that. This is one of those, I might get this out in a few years and put filler in it all over the place and get it done properly. But for now, let's just see what we've got, and let's just see what we can do with it, just with a bit of a paint job. The rear view I always think is rather spectacular, if a little menacing, as we can see. And there of course is the gate. It's a good model, I enjoyed it. It is a great craft, and as I said in the previous one, I think given time the boffins in Britain could have come up with this for the Second World War if the Second World War lingered a year or two longer. I can just see this sitting on the drawing board somewhere and somebody saying, quick, pull out those diagrams you had, those blueprints, let's have another, let's revisit that. Anyway, there it is from above. It is a fine model actually, gaps aside, and it could be something that the designers could have mucked up. Anyway, here we are with it fulfilling its duties with some 6mm tanks, Centurions, aren't they? And out they spill from the pod, which I just think that's that's probably how it would have been in my alternative reality. So I'm pleased. I'm a very happy 9-year-old right now. Pardon me. And the little tanks are rather neat. I could get into them, to be quite honest. I've got some 6mm medieval folk, but I think a nice fleet of tanks is rather impressive. Oh, you can just see bits of the interior there. I used some leftover transfers, shall we say, and I smothered over a bit with a very large one at the back there. The large one I think is that's not transfers, that's the interior painted by hand. I haven't quite finished that off either. Whoops. The rear of the interior, which we can't see, that transfer was, I think it's from one of the kind of tail jets off one of the others, probably Thunderbird 3 I suspect, or was it the Thunderbird 5, the space station. Anyway, here we are going on an assault. Can you imagine a fleet of these aircraft, 9 or 10 of them, spilling tanks out all over the show. I think I've got 8 there, just to imply there's a couple more still in the pod. Of course it's made up for with this one from a previous film, and look at the seam on that barrel. I have actually, since I made the film of this Tamiya Centurion, I have actually filed down some of the seam on that gun, and yet when you got it on screen big it still looks phenomenal. It does mean, I know I'm trying to stop myself fiddling about with stuff, but it does mean I'm thinking, oh, do you know, I should get a metal rod. I can see why model shops are chock-a-block with them, and the internet is full of specific metal barrels, because that's just horrible, isn't it? It doesn't look that bad in real life, obviously, because it's tiny, but on screen it's hideous. Anyway, here we are, flying through the skies. I know this is really silly, but at the same time I'm trying to get the light to vary a little on it, because it's very easy to, particularly when I started all this, it's very easy to just stick them down with a plain background and slam a load of lights onto them. and flatten out every aspect of the creature. But here we are, Thunderbird 2 with a blue sky behind it, a little bit of fluffy cloud here and there, and the light varying. I must find a really clever way of suspending these things in the air, or propping them up in the air, a massive sheet of very fine perspex or something. And here we are, setting off into the sun. I was going to say sunset, but it's definitely not sunset. It's about 9 o'clock in the morning. Nice clear skies, the lot. I enjoyed that. I hope you did. It's very silly, intentionally so. But I'll be back soon with more. Thank you for watching. Bye bye.